you can't take them to the market antibiotics. So what they call a withdrawal period.
Yeah.
So if you don't practice that, again, is a danger to the society, because you're going to take out your chicken we feel antibiotic like 3 days ago, and then we start to the market, and then muto or actual consumer that chicken. Hello, that person the person was sick, and the person will look at doctor, and doctor will feel antibiotic as well. Sometimes muto asa fully. Resistance to antibiotic, mainly because we grill from the chicken.
Because, earlier we were talking and I was telling you about how stressful chickens are. They are stressed themselves. What inspired you to start the business in poultry?
In the Bible, there is a verse I like that says, greater is he who is in me than he who is in the world. Could also keep that house very clean. Also, check ventilation, temperatures, and not vaccinating. You lose a lot of chickens. Yeah, so. And then especially if you don't know the importance of keep that bedding clean. And also the chicken, this is how it behaves, because we this one is sick. There was a point whereby one of my sons resigned from work, and then he was just giving me all his attention, full time with me, working with me, doing everything else. Yeah, and he went back to work, and then now I've got the other one, and with God's grace, he's working at home since COVID. So he works from home. So every time when or where I need to go, and then he's always with me.
I had an opportunity to learn about chickens, and when I realized that they've got anxiety, they've got stress, they get sick easily, and they need to be treated like little babies. I was like, my goodness. And to think that you would expect that something that is consumed so much by people would be the least troubling. Welcome to another SEDFA podcast. My name is Tenswalo, and we are celebrating people living with disabilities. As SEDFA, we play a role in fostering a more inclusive and accessible society for people living with disabilities. The theme for 2025 is creating strategic multi-sectoral partnerships for a disability-inclusive society. I am not alone. Today, I am joined by Me Lucritia, all the way from Modimolle in Limpopo province. Hello, Me.
Hello, sis.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritties of why we are here today, may you tell us about yourself and your journey of how entrepreneurship began?
Dumelang, Lina la ka ke Lucritia Motshophi from Modimolle in Limpopo province, Waterberg district. And I am a poultry farmer.
Interesting.
Ke lema nama.
Yes.
And but I'm specifically raising broiler chickens. I agree in poultry and so now I'm specifically on broiler chickens.
Okay. And what inspired you to start a poultry business? Because, earlier we were talking and I was telling you about how stressful chickens are. They are stressed themselves. What inspired you to start the business in poultry?
I've got this deep-rooted passion from just from childhood, from being a farmer. I grew up with my grandparents. And then my grandparents were farmers by then, and it's a long time ago. During that period, and all that. Yeah, so I grew up from that space. And then my grandparents were farmers, both crops and livestock. But I got interested in this livestock, specifically chickens. my grandmother ona godisa dikgogo, and I was always with her. I'm the eldest at home, and I'm the eldest grandchild. And you know how setlogolo se segolo,
Yes.
you know, the grandparents gore ba tlo tshwara ka that golden,
Yes.
ba o treat ka golden gloves. So I grew up with them, and then I learned quite a lot. Ke sa le monyane, just for like, you know, from infancy, ntse ke le ka mogare ga dikgogo. And then up until when I was ready to can go to school. And then you know, but by then, the hosna what we call broiler chickens, in nearly the free range.
Yeah.
And then but through that, I've learned quite a lot of diseases, mudukong, raise young, ready for the job when, and all that. And nago eho this now new method of like maybe you vaccinate, got this and that. No, some other methods, say our grandparents never did, you know, and then the way of feeding, the new feeds the dealing thing at the moment, the dealing in the industry, they were feeding on grass,
Yeah.
you know, on grass and on insects, and you know, they were actually healthy chickens that I grew up on, yeah. And then, but you know, that bug remained in me, you know, the passion remained in me, although eventually when my parents had to take me, and then I had to come to school, and then I completed my schooling, and then I started working in the bank. And I was in the banking industry for more than 20 years.
Wow.
But by the time when I decided to resign, the bug was still there. I decided I still want to be a farmer. And that is how, and then I ventured into farming.
Oh, that's a lovely story. I like how it dates back and includes family and your grandparents. So, can you walk us through on how your business operates on a daily basis?
Okay, on a normal day, in poultry, your chickens are being placed in a specific kind of infrastructure. And then in that infrastructure, you need to have some important things in place, like your heating system and your bedding that need to be clean every day, and your clean water, and then the feeds. And of course, medication if the chickens are maybe sick, and then you need to keep register of each and everything that is happening in that environment. So include actually what you call the thermometer must always be there.
Okay.
Because the chickens need to be in a controlled environment. So in the morning, you walk in there after placing those chickens. You place the chickens in a house that is prepared, cleanly, and then inally clean. They normally call it sawdust, but it is actually called wood shavings. Those chickens, and then reverse those wood shavings as a bedding.
Okay.
To protect them from the cold environment, and to keep them warm. And then you make sure the chicken cook in an acceptable temperature, and then the ventilation is very important. And then and then you make sure the feeds are there, and then the water system is there, and then clean water. And every morning when you come, and then you first check the mortality, because sometimes you experience that. They were a bit sick when they come. So you first check by those that are dead. So there's one known to udihata. So and then you start to clean up your bedding. Actually, you turn it over. You must turn that bedding over, because how it is turning the chicken droppings heading the tomato now on that bedding, because of the bedding to be wet, a bit wettish, and then this start a whole a gas, a ammonia gas. And then that gas ke yona irang gore dikgogo di thome di lwale di ne le bronchitis or di thome di cough. O bona dikgogo di starta di ntsha the red droppings, some disease but re ke coccidiosis.
Okay.
And then
Interesting.
So that is what you need to do every day when you walk into that chicken coop. And then you feed, and then you give the water. And then ka your first 7 days, you rasho gore o di fa le what they call stress pack. You add stress pack in that water. And then finally proteins, and then see really the immune system to be stronger on the chickens. And but not forgetting what you note everything on your register, your record. You record that mortality we grilling in that in the coop, and then you record the temperature. This was the temperature, and then the number of bags of feed we administer along on the chickens. And then if you still you isolate them, maybe on one space, and then would try make sure those chickens didn't access the feeds, because sometimes when they are sick, then dinner isolated and then that one it causes their grower. It disturbs on their growth. So, and yeah, that's the typical day. And then you'll keep on monitoring the temperature throughout the day, keep on checking if the feeds the enough. And yeah, that's the normal typical day of the cool when they had the.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like a job. Because I mean, I had an opportunity to learn about chickens. And when I realized that, they've got anxiety, they've got stress, they get sick easily, and they need to be treated like little babies. I was like, my goodness. And to think that you would expect that something that is consumed so much by people would be the least troubling, if I can put it like that.
Yeah, there is a lot of work into the chicken. For you to grow the chicken is definitely a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then again, one thing I guess I mentioned, I get to follow again your vaccination program. You on that register as well, you need to have that column of your vaccination. You know from when they arrive up to maybe day 14 to day 7, and then it depends on a farmer. Some of us, we now administer a stress pack for full 7 days.
Okay.
And some will tell you about 3 or 4 days. But it depends on the farmer when you do this, and then you are getting better results. So you administer that stress pack for the first maybe up to 7 days. And then from there up to 14 days, and then you must administer a vaccine, Newcastle.
Okay.
And then as the days goes by, the 14th day, and then you must go and administer Gamboro.
Okay.
And then after 14 days again, I think 7 to 14 to 21 days. And then after that, you're going to administer Newcastle again. The other thing, what we're emphasizing again about that wood shavings.
Yeah.
The reason why again is when it's needling.
Yes.
The skin now wet. Sometimes o tla kry-a ga o lebelela o kry-a dikgodi na le this dark spots ka motsa sa maotone. The cause I think because management.
Okay.
So the lack of management there, that wood shavings how say 10 o sa 10 pila.
Yes.
And in a wet it cause happen that black the black spot ka motla sa maoto a dikgogo.
Okay.
So that is one thing that we need to be careful about, and then re try go manage.
Okay. You spoke a lot about clean. I think the number of times you mentioned clean, vaccinate program, the program that you are to take. And the way you are giving us so much detail means you know what you are doing. You didn't just wake up to, raise chickens. So it adds on to the value that you bring to your customers and the community. But what other values does your business bring to your customers as well as the community? Besides ensuring that the chickens are raised properly, what else makes you unique when it comes to your service delivery?
Besides the quality chicken, I think my business also bring in stability and reliability and
Important.
the constant consistency.
Yes. Yeah, those are good qualities, especially when it comes to food. Yeah. Okay, so with every businesses come with challenges, just like with everything that we take on to do. What has been that one big challenge that you have faced in the past few years in your business that you would say, you know what, this was something big that maybe you were not warned about when you started, or maybe you knew that challenge was there and you put it on the side. But what is that one challenge that you faced raising chickens or as a poultry farmer?
I think the challenge that I faced, especially when I had ke thoma, ne, proper management.
Okay.
In chicken production, you really need to make sure you manage that environment properly and very, very well. Here also manage your chickens properly, also tlhokomele cleanliness.
Yes.
The main issue. Could also keep that house very clean. Also lebele also check ventilation ya gago, also lebele temperatures and not vaccinating. You lose a lot of chickens. Yeah, so. And then especially if you don't know the importance of keep all that bedding clean.
Yes.
And also easily the also kono go lebella the chicken, also ithuta chicken hore go haelwala. This is how it behaves. Because we bona ka matlho gore this one is sick
Right,
or something is wrong here. So how usa itse dilo tsego and it o thomang it an impact on your business. You lose quite a lot of stock.
And have you lost stock due to maybe missing something within the management, especially in the early years?
In the early years, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Niki lose quite a lot. Niki na le a high mortality rate. And then when you start, you are not even worried about that, about
Yes.
hore, I need to reduce and. So, but you realize later, hore, mara, it has got much more to do. Hore, sometimes I get heady when they drink and then hona le metsi on the floor.
Yes.
So if the next person had to do some that spillage immediately, and then they're tomadira something like okarasares. More especially how saberikisa the proper wood shavings. Uberikisa what they call sawdust.
Yeah.
Sawdust he gramezi ira mud. Una mud. So from there, and then when I ignore, you ignore, and then you just work and ignore. Eventually, that stench, and then it costs just a lot. Although lose a lot of chickens because that stench, ke ammonia, it cause out the starter who cough. And then here is that cough fella, so tomo what minister the antibiotics.
Yeah.
What you call, and then the whole antibiotic. Sometimes to the market. You can't take them to the market to antibiotics. So what they call a withdrawal period.
Yeah.
So if you don't practice that, again, is a danger to the society. Because you're going to take out your chicken, we feel antibiotic like 3 days ago, and then we start to the market. And then mucho or atlo consumers that chicken. Hello, that person the person was sick, and the person will look at doctor will feel antibiotic as well. Sometimes mutu na asa foli. Canteen resistance to antibiotic, mainly because we grill from the chicken.
Okay.
So that's why it's so important to practice those withdrawal periods, or make sure you manage we manage very strictly. Those diseases or to the extent for antibiotic.
Yes.
So now there is the law lack of management, you lose quite a lot of chickens. And the other one stealing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stealing in that market. Fella, theft is
It's big.
It's big.
Yeah.
Theft is very big, and then especially if they can realize o ka re ba tsa advantage ya gore now you are a woman.
Yeah.
You are there and they're looking again at your capabilities, or okay, no, she can't even run, such things, or she can't come out during the night. How to khotlo.
Yeah.
So honestly, a lot of that is going on. Kore, sometimes you feel like you are retired. The way the way sometimes you'll wake up and find out how they broke in and body there. And they take quite a chunk. And how Tomo start a lot of the tracks it was not only one or two people more.
Yes.
In nearly a group. It was a group of men, but you really but it's a bag you go strating
But yes. Oh, that is not nice. Did you know that chickens take antibiotics? My goodness, I'm learning.
They do.
Imagine the chicken antibiotic, you antibiotic, that combination. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I would like us to talk a little bit about living with a disability and entrepreneurship. I mean, you've already mentioned that you can become a target when it comes to like stealing or theft, when people want to steal from your business, which is very sad and it's unacceptable. But what interested me was, when you enter the chicken coop and you have to clean your boots and all of that before you enter, and you are in a wheelchair. I would like to find out with you, because you mentioned when we spoke off camera that the chickens know you. When they hear your voice, they run to you. But now, how do you get ready to enter the coop to make sure that you are, as clean as you need to be in order to be able to take care of the chickens?
Look, in every chicken coop, you need to have it's biosecurity. You must have biosecurity in place.
Okay.
So in some other farms, it's just a bath where you're going to put in your varicule and water there to soak your boots when you get into that thing. But in other circumstances, it's like a bridge. Something like a bath. It is built automatically built. Just a deck fair.
Yeah.
One go deck is cemented, and then just little walls whereby you can drive in.
Okay.
Yeah, you can drive like in the big industries, the trucks had it more finally what they call spray booth. So the truck in a spray the wheels and kodimu and on the sides and all that. So there you just build a small bath, cement, and then you can drive in with your wheelchair there.
Okay.
And then this person walking behind you can still soak his boots in there, and then they push you in there.
Oh, I like that. I like that, because that also means there's room for technology and improvements as well to help different people. But then
and because I'm sorry, because hey ulimo wheelchair is not like a person was a manka mouth. I get when they run around.
Yes.
So you find that hey a house, what they call the brooder curtain.
Okay.
So the house in the brooder curtain and then as they grow, you shift it.
Okay.
So eventually, hey, it will fit when the chickens are now grown up, they are in that house. But only a space whereby you can wheelchair or we're not just if you don't, if by that time it's not even necessary for you to get into the chickens, but you can just stay sort of like a partition.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's interesting. I love that. You sound and look like a very confident woman in your space, and I love that. And with my next question, I want us to also use it to help someone else who's maybe wanting to start, someone else who feels like, but I can't do it, especially when you're living with a disability, because you may feel like, but I'm not enough. I don't have enough. And sometimes people will tell you that you can't, And maybe you some people grow up like that. Some people, it's something they get along the way. That maybe they're in a car accident and then they cannot walk by themselves, but they need to pick up life and move. What are some of those perspectives or strengths that have made you want to carry on?
In the Bible, there is a verse that I like that says, greater is he who is
In me
than
he who is in the world.
the world.
Definitely.
So that verse always, when I read that verse, ke na le an understanding ya gore God is within me,
Yes.
and Jesus is in me, and Jesus is power, and his strength, his love, his everything. So that actually is the verse that keeps me going.
Yeah.
And that is the verse, I must not be scared of anything. And even though it's very tough to be in such a situation, it is really, really very tough because of only limited accessibility wherever that you go most of the time. But just to trust in yourself,
Yes.
and to be persistent, and to believe in who you are,
Yeah.
and when you need help, and to shout. Yes, a lot of people will not listen to you, but there are those when you need help and when you need some advices. There are those who will still maybe
Help you.
Yeah, that will help you.
So, what has been your support system? It can be personally or it can be professionally that has carried you.
My support system is both. The first, personally and professionally, my family.
Yes.
And when I talk about my family, I'm talking about my children, my boys. They are such a strong support system. And, where I am at the moment, I can't drive myself. I can't do anything on my own. So every time when I had to go to the meetings or go to wherever, or I want to execute, and, there's something that I need to execute, and they are always there for me. They are really, really there for me. And I work, we sort of like, we complement one another. We work on each other's schedule. There was a point whereby one of my sons resigned from work, and then he was just giving me all his attention, the full time with me, working with me, doing everything else. Yeah. And he went back to work, and then now I've got the other one, and with God's grace, he's working at home since COVID. So he works from home. So every time when or where I need to go, and then he's always with me.
Oh, that's lovely. Look at your face shine bright when you talk about your sons.
They are a true support system. And then the government programs, the networks, entrepreneurship networks, is one of the other my support system. I cannot say I've got a mentor in place, but coming back from the banking industry,
Yes.
so Hege approach our farming, I approach it as a business.
Okay.
So I had to start to learn. I went to ARC. I did an ARC agriculture course, and it took about 2 years, and then just studying chicken production.
Okay.
So I've got that. I've got that information mostly from that program. That 2
Yes.
years, yeah, because it was about production and management, chicken production and chicken management, and of course attending some other courses, maybe the workshop or from the agriculture department.
Yeah.
Gadi Farmers Day, and then I'm always there. I even came, if it to the extent that I started having a group whereby I will teach them or share the information.
That's lovely.
Yeah, share the information in chicken. And then the upcoming farmers, I used to do that to them as well, but free of charge, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lovely value. Okay, I want us to talk about SEDFA. When was the first time you heard about SEDFA and its programs?
The first time I heard about SEDFA, it was when they were doing some road shows. So they were in the province, and then by then they were in my district, Motshopi. They were coming in, and I happened to be in one of the WhatsApp groups, the business people in our district. So, and then it was announced the SEDFA is coming, and I didn't know who they were. And I remember that day, now I had some commitments. I had to go to Polokwane for some other meeting. So I asked one of my workers to please go and attend this meeting and come back with the report, record everything, and I need to know what was happening there.
Yes.
And then he went, so went there, and then in that workshop, apparently there was a register. And I told him, Hori, and whoever is there, you must tell them, Hori, you are representing me. And if there is anything that they need to share, please, they must share it with you.
Yes.
And then Solo went there, and unfortunately when he got there, and he told the guy who was there, Richard is the guy working for SEDFA. Yeah, and then he told him, well, look, now I'm just here, but I must come and represent them. I don't know anything. So Richard welcomes Solo, and then I think a lot, because at the end of the day, Solo everything, all the documents that was giving there, the people, the registrations and all that. And then he signed the register, and he went and put on my email address on that register. And the lead contact numbers. Richard advised him to put both contacts, Zahage and Elizaga.
Okay.
And then Bafeza. After that, after a while, I got the information. I realized, okay, SEDFA, I didn't know about SEDFA. It was SEDFA by then.
Okay.
It was SEDA. Yeah, it was SEDA. And then, I just kept the information. And then at one time, and I received an email from them, and then they were facilitating it was for the cooperatives.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the course was called Cooperative Governance. Okay. So they invited me, and I went and attended that course. I think it was a 3-day course.
Okay.
And then, that is when now I got to know SEDA. And then after a while, and then I received an email, and that email was an invitation, and it was about pitching.
Okay.
That National Presidential Award. It was actually a competition.
It was a competition
to pitch for your business.
Okay. So that would be the pitching program that SEDFA has. Did they first start you off with a masterclass, or did you get into the pitching once?
No, what happened was after receiving the email.
Yes.
And then pitch. I've never done that, and I was a bit scared and skeptical to enter that. I remember, and then I look on the documents.
Yeah.
And then I got that name where Richard, and I called him and said, Richard, I see here they're talking about pitching. I've never done that, and I don't even know. Honestly, I did not even know. And then he said to me, no, don't worry, just complete that application, and then we'll see when things go, Then I completed the application, and then I think there were some assessments that were made, and then eventually, and then I received an email, I've been selected.
Okay.
So, and then on the instructions were, the pitch is going to take 5 minutes. There were instructions there.
Yes.
And not 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And what I did was, I actually put on something like, I derive information from my business plan, because I always have my business plan.
Yes.
But now, and I tried to, this big business plan, then how to put it to 3 minutes. I decided, and then I just, took some few information and I put it all there. And I went to, it was in the district.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I went to the district.
What is the name of the district?
Motshopi district.
Okay, awesome.
And then it was quite a lot. It was a lot of candidates there. And then by the grace of God, that day, and then before you can pitch, and then they started teaching us about now that master class. What is it called?
Art of pitching.
The art of pitching.
Yes.
Yeah. And then by that moment, and they taught you, and then from there on, and you to present what they taught you.
Okay.
And then, well, we tried, and then I decided, okay, no, I'm gonna try, but there was just a lot of information that I have to take out of my presentation, a lot. Because there was just a lot that I put on there. And what he said, the judges are looking at, it was, I had to focus on what he's teaching us.
Yes.
And then I was a winner there in the district.
Oh, wow.
And then I had to
Congratulations.
and then I had to proceed to province. And then to provincial level again. Now at the province, now it was all the districts.
Yes.
So I think we were about 21 there in the when we went to province. And then no, we're not 21, it was more than that.
Okay.
So in the province, and then there was this guy who was giving the art of
Art of pitching.
the art of pitching.
Masterclass.
Yeah, master class. Can I mention his name? Jack Mawasha.
Okay.
That man, he owns a broadcast somewhere in Limpopo, but I did not know him.
Yeah.
I did not know him. But the way he was teaching us that day, I think for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then, but after that, we needed to go and pitch now for competition to go through to national office.
Yes.
So to national.
The awards.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was listening to this man. Yeah, he was it was the first time with him, but he was just, the way he laid out the whole thing.
Yes.
And it really opened up my mind.
Okay.
And then my confidence was just built in that moment.
Yes.
And I just wanted to pitch. I wanted to pitch. And again, what I had from the district, I had to remove again some other stuff now.
Okay.
Because he was telling us, this is what the judges are going to be looking at, and these judges are not from the department, so they're independent judges. And then, he actually showed us how you need to ingest this pitch. Know you to know what you want, know what your business want, and then the points you ask, you must put in your ask there. You must put in what are you going to do with the money, and then
Be sure.
And be sure. I put that in that to us while he was talking to us, and while he showed us the video, because he even showed us videos of pitching of it was an American video of contestant pitching. Then we had to look it, we had to watch it so attentively and deep down, and the way he was presenting himself and his voice again. His voice was like, wow, you know what? I want to be like this man. And then come the time for pitching.
And I'm going to Google him after this.
Jack Mawasha. He is that. I didn't even know that he owned a podcast. I didn't even know where this man come from. But the way he was, the way he was just laying that pitch there.
Yes.
It was like, wow. I've been wasting my time because I didn't like that pitch. Every time when this pitch thing comes in, I was like, not for me.
Heavy.
No, it was always like, it's not for me. I won't even go for that. But he made me to laugh to pitch for your own business.
Yes.
And then we did it that day. And then I was one of the winners in my category.
Wow.
And then, so we had to go to national.
Yes.
So national, when they were explaining, they said when this competition started, we were about 3,000 candidates.
Okay.
And then as we were preaching from one level to the other, and then it was tailored up to 1,500.
Okay.
And then by the time when we went from a provincial to national office, we are about 105 candidates. So we went there, and then we went at the provincial level. Yeah, Standard gave us some tips.
Yes.
They gave us something like about 9,000 rands.
Yes. Thank you, Standard Bank.
Yeah. And then we went to national. So when we got to national that day, I remember when we were having our dinner, and then there was this person that came in again to come and emphasize on what doing something like how Jack did it.
Yes.
But to be honest, I listened, but when she was talking there, everything that she was saying, it related to more to what Jack was teaching us.
Okay.
So I decided, no, I'm not going to perfect it. I'm going to leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to confuse myself. And then it was that, okay, it was during the night, we were even having dinner. And then when I went to sleep and I started pitching to myself, I pitched again.
You were serious.
Yeah, I pitched. And the funny thing is, I was worried because there was just a lot of candidates in my category. It was a lot of them. So the following morning, now it was that time that we had to pitch. But if you want something, you will want to do more and better yourself.
Yeah.
So by then, I have decided and I've concluded that I'm going back home with the prize.
Yes.
I have to go back home with the prize.
Yeah.
And and I remember I even
That's
told
the spirit.
Yeah, I told myself I have to go back with it, And then we went in and it was now time for pitching. And because it was the first time, now in this environment of people living with disability, you expect people to be on wheelchairs, people to be... I'm telling you, there was a time whereby I just saw a person just walking straight without any help, without anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, So I was the only person on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Others, it was somebody maybe without the fingers. And then someone maybe seeing with one eye, but putting on, sunglasses.
Yes.
And I remember, and I started like scrutinizing them. What is wrong with this one? What is wrong with that? Because I'm to say, where is the disability? And why can't I be the same as them? Because I just thought, why am I sitting down? I could be at least one of them who's like walking and being independent. But it went well. They were very great candidates as well. They were really very, very great. I must say they were great. They did good presentation. But and then come the time for the awards in the evening. And then we had 4 judges who are not even smiling at us. And who were asking tough questions.
Yes.
And but when you told yourself, they can be there, they can be how serious, but you know what?
I'm living
I'm living with it. So the awards night came in. It was on that evening at the Galaga the convention center. And then we're all sitting there, and because they were all good, they were all good, and you really don't know what happened. You really don't know how these judges, what are they looking at and all. But I was so confident that I nailed it.
Yeah.
I nailed it. What I was taught in that master class, all the points are there.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to miss that. And the confidence that man built in me in that day, it remained. It remained, and I said, I'm not even going back here.
Yeah.
And then during the day, before that evening, during the day, then we had to go in for, I don't know what they call it, when we had to go and view the stage, and they were telling us how to get on the stage, this side, or what do they call that?
Like an orientation of what will happen.
Yes, okay. Yeah, we went for orientation during the day.
Dry run.
Yes, yeah, we went for orientation. And I remember when I got there and I looked at the stage and there was no ramp on the stage. And then there was this lady who was part of it, and what's her name? Bulelo but she was a cameraman. Okay. She was on camera, that lady. Selaelo. Mulatelo. That lady was there. Mulatelo was there. And I called her because, now you're on a wheelchair. Everybody else is standing. They're walking around. And I called her. And she came to me and said, why there is no ramp here? You can imagine, that was orientation. And she said, Mama, I don't know. Why are you asking me? And I said, Mulatelo, I need to be on that stage in the evening. So how am I going to get there? Why there is no ramp there? And she just burst into, she laughed. Yeah. And I said, no. And she said, Mama, are you sure you're going to go there? I said, I'm going up there. Yes. Tonight, I'm going up there. Just make sure that there is a ramp here. Because I didn't see any ramp. So, okay, otherwise, and then we finished, and during the night, and then when they were calling those awards, when it came to my category, and then I was, they come in the 3 contestants, and then they announced the winner. So when they call up my name, my company's name,
Yes, girl.
wow, just say thank God. It happened. It happened, and then I was wheeled. So when we go around the stage, and then the ramp was there.
Okay, I was about to ask, was there a ramp?
And then the ramp was there because I moved from that section to the other end to go and get on the stage.
Yeah.
And then the ramp was there. Wow. And it was such a defining moment for me. I was so excited. I was so happy.
After looking at others, what's wrong with that one? What's wrong with that one?
Yes.
What about me?
Because I was actually expecting to see people on wheelchairs, and like you are thinking, okay, people with disability, okay, it must be people who can't actually do it. They cannot walk, they cannot do. But in the meantime, you know what? Disability has got different categories, different people. That is when I learned that night that what, a person with only one eye, falls under that category as well. The person without the fingers, all those things, I actually learned that night.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. I need to clap. Well done. So you have gone through the Art of Pitching Masterclass under SEDFA. You have won the provincial pitch. And now you've moved on to the National Presidential MSME and Cooperative Awards, where you scooped one of those categories. Tell us, what did you win, and how did those winnings actually help your business?
Okay, there was a prize for the first prize winners. It was 200,000 cash.
Okay.
And 100,000 TTA.
Okay. And TTA is Technology Transfer Assistance.
Yes. And with the TTA, I actually put in solar system, for the whole solar system on the farm. My farm did not have electricity. Because at one stage, I experienced some fire. My whole farm burnt down at one stage. The house, everything, where I was operating, everything just destroyed. And I had to restart again from the beginning and then rebuild those structures that I'm operating on. So I never had electricity. So the TTA, it really assisted me in terms of buying about the whole solar system.
Nice.
That can put in electricity in the farm.
Yeah.
And with the 100,000, and then with the other cash, and then I managed to put it in the business.
Okay.
I invested in the business.
Oh, that is lovely. So you have seen like a difference before the participating in the program and after participating in the program.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is good. You wanted that award and you took it.
I wanted it so much because I was using solar lights on the farm.
Okay.
And when you lose solar lights, yes, you can have light, especially in your chicken houses. But when it's raining, and then there is a problem because those lighting systems, they just dim themselves. You're not getting the same light that you would like to have. So now this solar system that I bought now, it has got the inverter, it has got batteries. It is a full system. Yeah, I've got the full system.
Wow. I like that. Thank you, Art of Pitching. It is a good program. And I love how you spoke about the lessons that you learned from the Art of Pitching masterclass, and how when you compare it with other sort of lessons or masterclasses, you found it to be a top program, one that you feel that if you have that, you can actually set yourself up for progress. So we really want to say, SEDFA has a great, top tier Art of Pitching masterclass, as well as like just the whole entire program as a whole.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And after winning, and then there was this radio podcasts that wanted to interview me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it came through SEDFA as well. It came through SEDA. The lady who was in charge of us she resigned now. She's working for the University of Venda.
Vendor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
so she actually went and put us on a WhatsApp group. And then after we came back now from national and being winners, and then that guy wanted to interview me. And she actually communicated with me and agreed on the interview. But no, it was a podcast, but I couldn't travel. Their offices are in Leboahomo.
Okay.
And it was like a last minute thing. So
Yeah.
I preferred, okay, no, I'll do it at home. But now when this man was interviewing me, and then I picked up the voice. And in the interview, I said, wait a minute, are you not Jack Mawasha? Because they did not tell me it's him.
Yeah.
And I did not know that he owns a podcast.
Okay.
You know, and then he laughed. I said, no, please, is it not you? And he said, yeah, it's me. Oh yeah. So it was so nice. It was just such a very nice interview.
A lovely full circle moment. We like that. Okay, let's talk about impact. How has your business impacted either your household or even your community? Yeah.
The impact, I must say, is being able to write my own check now.
Yes.
You know, and in the community, I've built more relationships now with, especially the vendors, that they are now relying on me with the stock.
Okay.
You know, and again in the family, I'm able to I'm able to sustain the family through the business.
Yeah. No, that's good. We love that. And your employees, how many employees do you have within the business?
I've got 3 employees.
That's okay. No, that's great.
And that has actually the winning part of it.
Yes.
I think it will delay confidence.
Okay.
Again, they trust me more than before.
Oh, that's lovely. So it's good for your brand. We like that.
Yeah.
We like that. So what does economic empowerment mean to you as an individual?
Being able to feed yourself.
Yeah.
And being able to can take decisions. For me, that's economic empowerment.
Yes.
Yeah, and not only to feed myself, even to feed the community.
Yes, definitely. Then it just shows that, you know what, you are empowered. I mean, I remember one lady saying, I have money now. I work. I run a business. I can eat what I want, not what I have to.
Yeah.
And you could see she's smiling because, you know what, I can choose. And that is all that we want, is to be able to choose. And we want to choose good and be able to share that with others as well. All right. So I consider you to be a successful woman in farming, in poultry, in your business, even in your space as a mom. I mean, you speak about your sons and how they help you. I mean, for them to be able to do that means you're doing something right. What advice would you give another woman, probably maybe someone who's also a person who's living with disability, and they would want to start their own business? And while you share that advice, if you don't mind, I'd like you to look straight into the camera and talk to that one person who is actually wanting to take a leap.
I'll say to that woman they must trust themselves, and they must not stay back, and they must not be scared to ask, and they must believe in themselves.
Yes, definitely. I like that.
And sometimes they when they go out there, they must not actually expect that things will just move on.
Yeah.
Things will, just get things the way they want anytime. There's a lot of disappointments out there. But I'll say, knock on this door. And if this door does not open, go to the next one.
Yes.
If they don't open, kick it.
Mm.
And if the door it still does not want to open, just use your head, use everything. It will eventually open.
Yes.
At the end of the day, somebody will listen to you.
Yes.
They must not give up.
Yeah. Try again. And what keeps you motivated even during the toughest of, especially those tough times where you feel like, yo, today, or you don't want to get out of bed, or you just feel down and out? What keeps you motivated? What says to you, you know what, I'm going to get up and try again today? After those doors don't open, you still want to wake up and try. What is that one thing that keeps you motivated?
One thing that keeps me motivated is this deep-rooted passion of farming.
Yeah.
The passion really wakes me up every day that you need to do it.
Yes.
Farming, it's something that, I don't know, I take it so different. I come from different industries. But with farming, it's so much closer to me that I just don't want to stop, even if when I'm getting disappointments. And I think I could have stopped when my farm got burned down.
Yeah.
When that day when the farm was in flames, that was the day that I gave up and said, you know what, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But you know what, I still went back there and salvage everything, pick up the pieces and still grow those chickens.
Wow. And what are your future goals for the poultry business?
To expand.
Okay.
And increase capacity in chicken. I want to be in a formal market now.
All right.
But not forgetting this one, not forgetting the informal one, because this is what made me to be a farmer. But I actually want to upscale. I want to start to supply in the big business.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I see that. We should work towards that. Okay, so we are coming to the end of the session, but I just want to find out from you, what message do you have for organizations that support entrepreneurs, especially for people who are living with disabilities?
I will say the role is vital, and they must keep on doing what they're doing, supporting people, individuals, farmers who are living with disabilities, because they have got their what word can I use? They are capable. They are capable in whatever that they're doing. So I'll just say they must keep on doing what they are doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to include us in all the programs.
All right. I like that. And I just also want to say that as a step forward, because I like how you've got plans to grow. At SEDFA as well, we've got a program or a fund called the Mavulindlela Fund, which is specifically for people living with disabilities. That, I feel it's something that we should look into, maybe read about, and then get in touch with the relevant people so we can get you assisted as well as all the others who would like to get assistance to move from one point to the next. And it is safe as well to say that if you want to enter into business, after this session, I have learned that you have to be passionate about the industry or the sector that you are entering into, and you have to learn and be informed, well informed about the space that you are entering into or that you operate in. And the third thing is compliance. You have to comply, and that will help set you apart. Thank you so much, Mayor Lucritia, for joining us. Is there any last words that you have or you'd like to share with us before we exit the platform?
Yeah, another thing, again, that I want to share with is compliance.
Yes.
I think compliance is very important, but it's a problem with most farmers or the small business. Compliance is very important. You need to have your business registered with the CIPC.
Yes.
You must be compliant with your taxes. And if you are VAT registered, like Motshopi Enterprise is VAT registered, you must always make sure that you do your returns, your annual returns.
Yes.
And now I see in farming it's very difficult for you to get funding in farming when you don't have your water use license.
Yes.
It's very important to have that, and I have achieved that as well.
Awesome.
Even though it's a problem, but I've got the water use license now.
Yeah.
And the EIA as well. In poultry, you need to have EIA, especially.
What does EIA mean?
Environmental assessment. What is it? Environmental impact assessment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when you produce chickens at a larger scale.
Yes.
That is a requirement. So if you know that you want to grow from where we are to wherever that you want to be, you need to have that in place. They are very pricey, I must say. Very, very pricey. It took me years. I mean, for me to get the EIA, I got it sometimes I got it in 2013. And I think the cost by then was about over 120,000.
Oh my gosh.
And then
does it expire?
No, it does not.
Okay.
It does not, because firstly it was expiring.
Okay.
I think they gave it 10 years.
Oh, all right.
But now, lately, I went and visited them again after getting my license, and they said it expires only in 20 years.
Okay.
After 20 years, and then they can you renew.
All right.
Yeah. And the water license again, it is Mudi pharmacy. It's very difficult to can get, and it's quite very expensive.
Is it?
It's over the 150,000. And you take all your charity you're for your business as a small farmer, and then you go and you pay that just to comply, because after compliant, then you'll be able to approach any funder.
Yes.
You can go to wherever, whether it's the land bank, whether the department of SEDA, SEDFA, and then that at least you are on the door of being funded. So compliance is very important.
Totally.
It's very important, and especially if you get used to the water. When I was applying for the water rights, it's an online application. You can't even go to the office and apply.
Yeah.
And the system it's a very tedious system when you don't actually understand how to work online. Yes. It's really, really very tedious, and it has got about 6 steps. And then you go through this step and that step and then the third step, and then the Department of Water Affairs will come and visit you, and then come and do some assessment. And after that, and they'll tell you of that report. They call it the hydrogeologist report.
Okay.
Where you have to get that specialist to come and check the input, the output, and check the water quality and all that. When you don't have that report, you won't get the license. That is the report
that you need.
That is a report that is very costly. It costs over 100,000.
Wow.
So after getting that report, and then you go and then you load it again on the e-Wheeler system. And then it went fast from loading. Okay, because I didn't have money. In 2023, I started the application, and I did not have, and I went up to stage 3 whereby I needed to submit the report. But and then after that, after getting the report, I only got the license now in July.
Okay.
So it took about 90 days, less than 90 days for them to issue the license.
Oh, that's great.
So it's just a matter of having the funds and apply for it. Then it will take about 90 days.
I like that. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And if you are watching, whether you're at work or at home or on the ground outside in your farm, kindly like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.